Next piece is the bottom round. London broil, broil, whatever they like to call it. I'm going to make one roast. I think one roast is okay, but I can probably get away with steaks than roast because we can do stew. So what we'll do is, instead of making a roast, we're just going to keep it as stew. So you take this chunk of meat right here, throw it to the side. You're not going to need it. This is the back end. You can do like a London broil out of this piece right here. And if you see that fat, you need this fat. This is what you call grease. If you do not have this on this meat, it'll turn into rubber. So I suggest that you keep that on your meat. Again, cut thin. The thinner the better. See that right there? That's called good eating right there. And this is the bottom round, London broil, however you like to call it. It's actually the bottom round, but if you cut it horizontal this way, this is how you get your London broils out of it. If you cut it vertically, this is how you get the bottom round out of it. So again, you just want to cut thin to the knife. Watch your hand, because this bad boy will cut you and open you right on up. It's two. Like I said, I could have did a rump, but it wasn't like a big deal, so I didn't worry about it. If you got a big family, I would suggest roast older, the older like the roast. I don't like roast for myself anyway, but fuck. Just put it out there like that. It will also works. It's good. See that right there? Nice size steaks, bro. And I'll show you from this side. I don't cut with this hand. I can't. This is what that meat looks like. But I'm gonna try to cut from here so you can get an idea. I can't cut this way. I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'll cut my hand. But if you run that thing down and through that thing like that and pull the meat, you see that? You don't want too much. Bottom round. You see that right there? You can make a roast out of this, stew out of this. We already talked about. So what I want to do is we're gonna make them a little longer now, because once it gets here, it starts to get into that roast. But we're not going to keep it. We're just going to get rid of it and cut it into more steaks. It's a quick meal instead of cutting one big slab or something. And you figure the ribeye took less than 5 minutes, and the bottom round is going to take the amount of time. So you figure, if I cut 40 steaks at $7 a pound, and I put about 2 pounds to a plate, that's $14. So 14 times 60, you do the math. You could be a butcher too. Big money in this, man. Everybody got to eat. Everybody. See that right there? It's good money. Now, I could keep this as a roast if I wanted to, and I think I will, because I have a lot of steaks. And once you get to the end part, it's not too keen to keep it. So what you could do is chop that off for stew. Chop your ends off for stew. Because a roast doesn't cook well if it's uneven. So if your roast is uneven, you're gonna have a bad time with that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? So what you do is you trim it up. Trim it up real nice. And this is what you call bottom round roast. You can take a tie, you can wrap it up with ties, and that's good clean meat. That's good prime right there. That's that good Angus right there. But I think we're not going to do roast. I think we're gonna do stew meat. And remember, you need that fat. So, in the stew meat, it's the same concept. You want to make chunks. Stew meat is just as good as a roast because it's nice and thick, juicy, tender. And if you marinate it, I try to marinate mine for 2 days if I have time. So if you marinate that for 2 days, man, you can have a nice tender piece of meat, man. A lot of people like bone, but you can't have fun with the bone as you can with the boneless because you can't chop it the way you want to. So again, same concept. You're just making chunks. You see that? You're not doing nothing too big. And like I remember, keep the fat on the meat. Do not trim it. If you trim that fat, you're gonna have a bad piece of meat, man. You don't want it. I'm telling you. It's one. Now that's your stew. So you can take your bag. So now you can say, here go a couple pieces of stew meat. Sometimes you just need enough to fill a plate. Nothing too big. You know, nothing too crazy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this ribeye and some of this here, and let's mix it. So we'll mix it, the ribeye with this, all in one. Now, be careful with your fat, because, like I said, sometimes that fat can haunt you, man. But you gotta know where to take it off. So what I do is I trim it this way. If you get into it this way, look at that. You can take that whole piece of fat off. Some people use this to cook with, like lard and stuff like that, but I'm not a big fan of fat, so I eat very lean. So you can take this piece off right here. You don't want this. See this right here? That's gristle. That's unedible. You don't eat that. That's not good for you. You get very sick if you eat that. Well, we don't get sick, but you won't be able to chew it. So you don't want to really mess with that. So if you could trim some of that fat away, it's okay. Just so that way your meat doesn't turn funny colors. Take this piece right here. That's that fat. If you take your knife in the angle, you see how it takes the fat right up off of that and keeps your meat. Because we already have a lot of fat, so we don't want to like OD with fat. You know, but if you want to keep it and cook with it, hey, be my guest. But I would be healthy and eat the right way and stay away from the fat products. Fat products is just not good for you. Pork products, I don't dare eat at all. So we will not be doing a segment on pork at all. So that's not happening. And so you cut it, the fat off of it, and then you have this left. You don't want that. It's not edible. It's not good for you either. Now, what I like to do is, now that I got my stew for my meats, oh, we found another piece. Nice piece of fat. This is another piece here that we took off from earlier, off the rump roast. Piece of fat, throw it away. You don't need it. If I had my dog here, he'll probably eat it, but I don't even want him eating fat. Okay, now, this is what I do. If you take it all and mix it together, you won't have something tasting different than the next piece of meat. So you take your sandwich bags, and a pound of stew is approximately 1 hand scoop. So this right here is probably a pound. That's probably a pound of meat right there, a stew. Like I said, you don't want to go too heavy because it's stew. You just want a couple of pieces, and you can make some rice or something like that you put to the side. So again, 2 hand scoops. You know, get it at a pound. Like I say, you don't want too much of it. It's just to put on the plate. You know, nothing too crazy. Put a couple pieces in here. Put a couple pieces in there. And now what I like to do is now I'll top off. Because now I have those 2 pieces of meat. Take about 2 or 3 of these, dump it in this one. Open this one up. Take 2 or 3. This would be considered like a family pack. So if you have maybe some rice, you know, maybe some beans or something like that on the side, you know what you do? Grab you some stew. Top the line, it's good Angus. I try to buy good meat. Spend money on good stuff, man. You'll get good quality, trust me. Okay, so we did the stew. And we did the bottom round out of that 1 eye round. So now we're going to package the bottom round steaks, which is, again, it's simple, no biggie, and I'll show you when the product is done.